So what's going on, guys? DIY Dan here, and this is another episode of Day to Day Around the House. So in this video, guys, I'm going to be changing out the AC filters on my 2013 Meritage house. Now everybody's probably thinking this is pretty self-explanatory. Why do I need to watch a video on this? And for the most part, I'd agree with you. However, I did not realize that I had an outside air filter as well that I hadn't changed in 5 years. This fresh air intake helps improve your air quality in your house by diluting the stale air that can be indoors, and also helps pressurize the house to keep pollutants out. I also didn't realize that I actually had a third intake filter that was located in another part of the house for the first 6 months or so that I owned this house. So even if you don't own a Meritage house, but your house is around the same age as this one, or maybe a little newer, you might still have this same style of system in your home. So this video might help you out. So if you end up enjoying this video and it gives you some good information, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. The whole concept of my channel is to give you guys the most information in the least amount of time as possible, so I don't waste your time. My channel is loaded with all kinds of different DIYs, all with the same concept: save you guys money by doing it yourselves. So let's get to it. So as I'm sure you're well aware, you have a set of AC filters in your house somewhere. What those filters do is filter the suction air going up into the evaporator so that the evaporator coils don't get dirty, and so you don't have dirt recycling out of your pressure vents in the rest of your house. Something you might not be aware of is you might have an outside air filter as well that is up underneath your regular air filters. So if you see a duct that looks like this, there's a good possibility you have this filter. So right here, I'm just using a little vacuum to clean off the filter covers. I do this once a year, usually at the beginning of summer. Normally, I don't shut the AC system off to do these filters because I actually use the suction, if it does come on, to help hold the filter. However, if you're vacuuming off these screens like this, you are going to want to shut it off, and that way you don't suck any of that dirt that you might push off of the screens and have it suck directly up into your evaporator coil. So when doing this filter change, the AC was on, and you can see it kind of sucks it up and holds it into place while I was putting the cover on. If you do decide to leave your AC running while doing your filters, you just want to do it as quickly as possible because you don't want to leave your unit exposed without a filter for very long. Usually there is a little lip that it tucks into to help hold it anyways, and then you just want to make sure that the arrows on the filter do point up towards the ducting. All AC filters have a little bit of a reinforcement on one side compared to the other. Now the only reason this really matters on these filters is if you forget to do your air filter changes for a long time and that filter gets really clogged, that evaporative fan could create such a vacuum on that filter that it could eventually collapse that filter, and then you'd be bypassing dirty air into your evaporator. So here's a quick view of that filter change for the outside air. There is a direction on this filter as well, so make sure you pay attention to the orientation of that filter, because the same concept applies for it. I ended up getting a 2-pack of these filters on Amazon. They are pretty pricey, so I'm going to do this filter once a year instead of every month or so as with the regular air filters for the unit. I just popped that air filter back up into place. I did actually go up in my attic and label the ducting so I knew for sure that the filter was in the correct way. Truth be told, the first time I took that filter down, I just didn't pay attention to the arrow on it, so I wanted to make sure I got it right. So the third intake filter for the AC that I had in my house was actually in my master bedroom, and I just didn't realize it for the first 6 months I lived at this house. And it is the exact same filter as the other two, and the replacement is the exact same as well. So that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Hopefully it helped you out and gave you some good information. Once again, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. The whole concept of my channel is to give you guys the most information in the least amount of time as possible, so I don't waste your time. My channel's got a wide variety of DIYs, all with the same concept: save you guys money by doing it yourselves. Hope to see you next time. Have a good one. Later.